very much for allowing me to take you on a journey and share with you some really valuable lessons that I've learned along the way. So looking back to this exact day, this was May 2014. I was enjoying a lovely afternoon with my husband and my little boy, Zach, who's one on the picture, when a stranger come over and started to have a conversation with me. Not unusual, I smile at everybody, I attract the most random people. But we started to have a conversation. We was talking about whether we knew each other or not. We come to the conclusion that we didn't. But she said that she did something that I might be interested in. Could she connect with me on Facebook, and could she send me some information to have a little look at? Now, unbeknownst to me, this is contact marketing. Now, who in the room gets a blotchy chest, sweaty palms, palpitations when you think about contact marketing, when you think about going out and sharing what it is, what we do with people? To be honest, I don't, because I think back to this day in May 2014, and I think of the conversation that we had and how genuine it was, how honest it was, and it wasn't forced. So I think if Lisa Prescott didn't come up to me on that day in May 2014 and compliment on how cute my little boy was, which, let's be honest, he is, would I be on this stage now, sharing my journey with hundreds and thousands of business owners? Who knows? So remember, your first exposure to the business, the first time that you speak to somebody about this business, what do you want them to remember from it? So let's look at lesson number 2. I said no. I looked at the 5-minute link. It looked interesting, but I was 6 weeks pregnant with my second little boy, and I was in the process of emigrating to California. So it wasn't the right time for me. I was honest with Lisa. I sent her a message and I said, it looks great, but it's just not for me at this moment in time. I'm sure she did the feel, felt, found. But she didn't block me or unfriend me. She kept really active on my Facebook. My background is nursing. I've been a nurse for 13 years. It's all I've ever known. I specialised into emergency nursing and then onto clinical education. And for those that don't know what that is, it just meant that I taught clinical skills and resuscitation to all different health professionals within a hospital. Now, when I went to California and we emigrated to California, I made the decision to not practice as a nurse. And this was because I wanted to be there for my boys. I felt that I'd moved them to another country and they needed stability, they needed their mummy around. But I don't know about anybody else, I got bored. Not bored of being a mummy, because I think that is the greatest gift that you can ever be, but bored of not having an identity outside of being a mummy. I'd come from a really successful nursing career, which I loved, and I was now in a position where I was at home with the boys, but everybody in California just knew me as Zach and Tyler's mummy, and I wanted something else. So when they say that forever finds you, they're absolutely right. Lisa reconnected with me about a week before I was due to come back to the UK on holiday. When I said I'd look at the 30-minute business information, what I actually saw was a way of earning an income flexibly from home around my boys. I don't know if anybody's ever lived in the US, but you need to be a millionaire to put your children in childcare. So I didn't want anything that would mean that I'd have to put my boys in childcare. I wanted something that I could do around them. And that's what I saw with this opportunity. So when I looked at the business, as I said, my background is nursing. I have never owned my own business. I have never retailed a product, never worked in retail. So what I needed and what I knew I needed was confidence. Confidence to be able to promote this business and the products. I found the confidence in the business by asking my husband to support me with this. My husband works for a really successful global company, so I wanted him to look at the business. And what he found was a business with longevity. The business is older than me. He found a business that was financially stable, which is not easy to come across nowadays. He also found a business with amazing products in the right marketplace and a really lucrative marketing plan. So once he gave it his seal of approval, and I needed him to, because obviously I needed his money to start up, I was happy then, and I thought, right, I need to try the products. I'm a really honest person, and I thought, if I am going to talk about these products with integrity and with passion, I need to fall in love with them. So before I registered my business, I did a C9. And everybody knows that you love the C9. And I fell in love with it straight away. I loved the way it made me look, the way it made me feel. And I would urge any business owners in the room that have never done a C9, you need to do one. They really are amazing. So when I did that, what that gave me then was confidence. Confidence in the products, confidence in the business. Now, when I looked to start my business, I didn't come as an empty vessel. I had life experience. I had 13 years of working as a nurse. And by doing that, I brought a lot of attributes with me into the business. I trained for 3 years to be a nurse. I got in debt. I didn't sleep, doing my dissertation and my assignments and everything else. And when I put my uniform on, I remember if there's any nurses in the room, when you put your uniform on for the first day and they give you their medicine keys, you think, I don't know what I'm doing. 3 years. So what I knew with Forever was, if I wanted to make this business successful, I had to give it the time, the commitment, the dedication that was required and that it warranted. And I also needed to be coachable. You've heard that before, but this is a new industry. I might be a naturally chatty person, but I wasn't a network marketer, and I had to be able to learn the skills. I had to look at the successful people and see what they did so that I could recreate it. The one thing about all these attributes is that every single person in this room today possesses these. Whether you engage with them is entirely up to you. You control them. You control how hard you want to work and how quick you want to work. So when we look at how did I get to manager in 3 months? I registered my business in September of 2016. At the time, I was living in California, and I registered my business in the UK. What I firstly did was get myself the most beautiful wingman. She's gorgeous, isn't she? But what we did was, we was fueled by excitement and passion. We very, very quickly started to share what we was doing because I had the confidence in the business and the products and in myself. I'd created an amazing network in the US who trusted me, and I couldn't wait to share the products with them. And when they started to use them, they equally fell in love, and they also fell in love with the business. So I developed an amazing team out in the US that duplicated and worked their way up the marketing plan. But Gemma and I worked our business together, and we created a really good team in the UK too. When we look at why we do what we do, it has got to be fueled by what underpins you as a person. Why you decide to get up in the morning and spend however many hours on your business is entirely up to you. My why is what you can see on the screen. My husband Wayne, my 2 boys, Zach and Tyler, and we have this Lomax memory jar. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this before. It was an idea I picked up off the internet. But every week we sit down on a Sunday as a family and we talk about what our favourite memory was that last week. Usually, my little boy always chooses going to Nana's. I'm like, we've done lots of things this week. But what Forever allows me to do is create memories, whether it be fueled by the extra income that I get from Forever or the extra time. But that is what Forever has given me. It's given me time and choices. When we relocated back to the UK, what I decided at this point was I didn't want to go back to work full-time as a nurse, but I still had a passion for nursing and I wasn't ready to give it up. So now I work just 2 days a week as a nurse, and the rest of the time I run my Forever business. And it does give me that time, and it does give me that freedom to be able to create memories. One other valuable lesson that I haven't put on there, but I do want to mention because I think it's important, is referrals. Gemma and I are building an amazing team out in Australia. And I do feel that the key to our business is global, to aid stability. But our team in Australia started as a referral. So I shared the opportunity with a friend that lives out in Perth. She said no, the timing wasn't right. But she referred me on to somebody else. This lady was a stranger to me. I'd never met her. I still have never met her now. Yet the friendship we have is as if I've known her for years. So please don't ever be afraid to ask for referrals, to be led by what the successful people coach you to do. I know with certainty that Gemma and I are going to be in forever. 18 months I've been on this journey and I am not leaving it anytime soon. But what I do have an appreciation of is that everybody's journey is different and you have got to respect that because they have to be driven by their why they're doing it. And I want you just to remember, time is really precious. It is not guaranteed to any of us. And we should really capture every magical moment and just live in that moment. And most importantly, smile every day.